Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today let's read another article, but today I decided to read news on a new website I've just discovered. It is Kids A to Z, and today our topic is about China. China, written by Amanda Johnson. By the way, after each reading, I will do a small quiz to test my knowledge, what I've just learned about China, whether or not this article is comprehensible or I've understood all the text. Where is it? The People's Republic of China, one of the largest countries in the world, covers a significant part of the Asian continent. With more than 9.5 million square kilometers, 3.4 million square kilometers of land, China is almost as large as the entire continent of Europe. Along its borders lie many other countries, including Russia, India, North Korea, and Vietnam. In all, China has about 14,500 kilometers, 9,000 miles of coastline. The East and South China Seas border the eastern and southeastern edge of the mainland. China has several large cities, including Hong Kong, Beijing, and Shanghai. Beijing, the capital city, is more than 3,000 years old, making it one of the world's oldest cities. Wait, let me check. Okay. Today, Beijing is a mix of the ancient and the modern. Skyscrapers, subways, and fast food restaurants give the city its modern character as they stand beside ancient structures, including temples, monuments, and courtyards. The Forbidden City, a massive palace built during the 15th century, was the home of Chinese emperors for hundreds of years. The name comes from the fact that only the emperor could enter every room in it. Today, the palace is a museum. Located on the coast of the East China Sea, Shanghai is China's largest city, its largest industrial center, and of the world's largest ports. Great numbers of people move there each year to work, contributing to the population of more than 20 million people. As many as 50,000 people per square kilometer, 125,000 people per square miles live in its most populated section, more than one and a half times as many people as in the most crowded part of New York City. Do you know a bridge near Beijing is named after Marco Polo, an Italian explorer who wrote about his travels to China in the 13th century? People. With more than 1.3 billion people, China has the largest population of any country in the world. In comparison, about 360 million people live in the United States, a population about one-fourth of the size of China's. More than half of the Chinese population lives in towns and villages. People who live in rural regions often grow crops and raise livestock, while people who live in towns and villages may manufacture goods as well as perform other jobs. Many people also live in large cities, which are centers for trade and business. Most Chinese people speak Mandarin, which means common language. People in different regions may speak dialects of Mandarin. Chinese people speak many other languages as well, including Cantonese and English. China has more cell phones users than any other country in the world. About 75% of the people have cell phones. Unlike English, which uses an alphabet to represent the individual sounds that make up words, Chinese writing uses characters that represent entire words or parts of words. Well, in my perspective, I think that Chinese has the most difficult characters in the world. You have to learn all the lines or the characters in order to understand the text that written in Chinese. Experts estimate that the system of writing in China began around 2000 BC, making it one of the world's oldest. Some characters resemble what they mean. For example, the character for the word mountain actually look like mountain pigs, as you can see on this picture, and an educated Chinese person knows on average about 4,000 characters, although the language contains tens of thousands. In the Chinese education system, students must attend school for 9 years. After that, they can continue their education by going to secondary school, which can be followed by job training or university. Getting into a university, however, is very difficult, and only a small number of students are admitted each year. China also contains land. China's vastness means it contains many different types of landforms. The mountain ranges in the southern regions are some of the country's most outstanding features. Mountains cover about 1/3 of the country, and the famous mountain range, the Himalayas, contains many of the highest mountains in the world, including the tallest, Mount Everest. Mount Everest rises 8,850 meters, 29,035 feet on the border between China and Nepal. Mountains can also be found in the western part of the country, along with plateaus. The eastern part of the country is a lowland area with forests and wetlands, and it is this area of the country that contains China's large cities. China also contains a huge desert, which stretches across about 1,600 kilometers, 1,000 miles of the northern region. The Gobi Desert borders Mongolia. The name Gobi means waterless place, and like all deserts, the Gobi receives little rainfall. It has a total annual rainfall ranging from 5 centimeters, 2 inch, and the western part of the 20 centimeters, 8 inch, in the northeastern part. Even though the Gobi Desert is a harsh environment, people do manage to live there. Those who make their home in this desert are nomadic herders who use underground water sources to raise cattle, sheep, goats, and camels. In addition to live the livestock of the herders, the Gobi is home to wild camels, gazelles, and China's rare white horses. China also has thousands of rivers, the longest being the Yangtze River, which runs for 6,300 kilometers. The Yangtze is an important means of transporting both people and goods. The Yangtze River Basin is known as the granary of the country. The basin is home to about half of the country's agriculture, including the largest amount of rice farming. Other grain crops grown in the river basin include barley, wheat, and corn. Animals. China's most famous animals is the giant panda. This member of the bear family is very rare. So rare, in fact, that scientists think only about 1,600 are left in the wild. The population has decreased to this small number because the habitat in the mountains of central China has been lost. Giant pandas live in forests and eat only bamboo, but many of China's bamboo forests have been cleared for agriculture, timber, and fuel. To save the giant panda, China has created special nature reserves. In addition, scientists in China and other countries have tried to breed giant pandas in captivity. However, the animals do not reproduce well outside the native habitat, and only in recent years have baby pandas been born in captivity. The Chinese alligator is one of the only 2 alligator species in the world. Smaller than its American cousin, the alligator's native habitat lies along the Yangtze River. Like the giant panda, its number have been greatly reduced due to habitat loss, and only a few hundred remain in the wild. Scientists have had great luck breeding the Chinese alligator in captivity, however, and are working with farmers along the Yangtze to keep alligators safe in their native habitat. The golden snub-nosed monkey is truly an odd sight, not because of its golden fur, but because of its blue face. That's interesting. This primate is found in the forests of central China, but also suffers from habitat loss. China has set aside reserves to have the monkeys keep some of their habitat, and the animals also bred in captivity. History. Well, I think that China has one of the most amazing and the oldest historical time of the world. China is one of the oldest civilizations in the world. Scientific evidence has shown that some of the earliest humans lived in China about 770,000 to 130,000 years ago. For thousands of years, emperors ruled China, sometimes